Yes mga higala, mayong adlaw ka natong tanang. Welcome din sa itong panag-uban sa atong tulumanong tambayan sa Radyo Pilipinas. Karon nga po na mga higala no, atong tambayan no, ang kining ko Department of Migrant Workers mga higala no. Actually nadunggan na ninyo ni kagahapon no sa sa kapihan sa bagong Pilipinas no, kung unsa ilang mga functions no. And kung unsa ilang mga trabaho, unsa ilang mga natrabaho no after ni nahimong nahimong department no, siguro na kuan mo pag natingala mo no kaysa una na anad sa kato ginaingon na Philippine Overseas Employment Agency ba to? Unsa ba to meaning sa POEA sa una? POEA. Karon himo na siya Philippine Overseas Overseas Employment Administration diay no, kon POEA. So mo to mga nagapamahala sa una usalan siya ka office no, under sa Department of Labor and Employment. Po karon mga higala no, subay sa sa balaod no, sa DMW creation, DMW charter nila. Kuan ni siya mga higala no, napasa ni siya mga higala no tung 2023, tama ba ko? Kano sa bani na kuan, kano sa bani na pasa intulo. DMW intulo. Asa ni? February 3, 2022. Diha napasa mga higala no. Take effect siya to February 3, 2022 pero napasa na gipirmahan siya December 30, 2021. Para ang kuan mo para mas matutukan nga to ang mga overseas Filipino workers no, especially silang welfare, to mga nasa delikado nga mga sitwasyon no, mga distress no. Okay, gitagaan li siya og pagtagad no nga na-separate nga department para nga matutukan gyud siya no, matutukan kung unsa gyud ang mga panginahanglanon sa to mga OFWs. Anyways mga katambayan ni nato lang no kay medyo taas-taas ni atong paminawon no ang Regional Director sa Department of Migrant Workers 11 no, walay lain si Attorney Angela Librado Trinidad no, aron nga sa mga pahibalo o mga briefer alang sa to ang DMW charter mga katambayan no. Ato paminawon mga higala Attorney Angging Librado.
For all our listeners and who are watching right now live stream, we would want to introduce our department, ang Department of Migrant Workers. Tatlong components po sa aming present this morning na we want to introduce the DMW. And second, we also want to introduce the functions of the DMW at the national level and what are our achievements at the national level. And of course, yung ating purpose ngayon, we would want to showcase the efforts of the DMW Region 11. So as we now know, the Department of Migrant Workers was created in 2021, although it took effect on February 2022 kasi meron yung batas, no? Pero itong ating DMW, hindi po siya POEA. Ayan. As we now see in our slides, because of its mandate to protect the rights of our workers and promote the welfare of the workers and their families, OFWs. This department has consolidated and merged the functions and powers of the different agencies and government, those that have something to do with foreign employment or overseas employment. So there are 7 as we now see. So we have the POEA, we have the Office of the Undersecretary for Migrant Workers Affairs, which is OMWA, which is actually in the DFA. So now the functions of the OMWA will be with the DMW. And the ILAB and the Philippine Office Labor Office, kanina po napag-usapan natin, no? Informally po ano yung mga POLO. But now it's the Migrant Workers Office already. So POLO is now MOA. Dati para siyang t-shirt, ngayon para na siyang halik. Ayan. So we also have the National Maritime Polytechnic, and then we have the National Integration Center for OFWs. It used to be with OWA and then Dolly at binalik sa OWA. Before it was migrated, nag-migrated na naman to DMW. And of course, we have the Office of the Social Welfare Attaché under the DSW. So ito po yung ating DMW. Now, syempre, ang tanong ay ano bang mandato ng ating DMW, no? Ito po ang ahensya na may mandato na magprotekta ng ating karapatan or protect the rights and welfare of our workers as well as the rights of our OFW families. Hindi lang po, ito na po ang malaking change ngayon, no? Because even if before we have been taking care of our OFWs, we now take care and highlight the function, the significance of their families, no, in the entire labor migration. So, kung nakikita nyo sa screen, no, itong mandate na ito, tatlo ang gusto natin mangyari. We want our OFWs to have an experience that is transformative in character, sabi nga nila, no? What does it mean, no? We want our OFWs not just to be recipients of programs, but we want them to be actual participants. Ang sabi na doon sa ating vision, co-architects in national development. Gusto natin na hindi lang nagtatanggap ng mga benepisyo or ng mga ayuda, but we want them to participate fully and meaningfully in national development. So we also provide comprehensive support, no? Kung para sa lahat ng medyo curious kung ano ba talaga ang pinagdadaanan ng ating mga OFWs, even before they go out of the country and think about whether migration works for them, the government now will support their migration journey from thinking whether it is their option or it works for them to going home. So from pre-migration to on-site or nandiyan na sa loob ng host countries at pagbalik. So we want to provide them the support. And then of course, the Philippine government thinks that the effort to make sure that our workers will have the best journey ever when they decide to go out. We make sure no, that it's an whole of government and whole of nation approach. So lahat ng mga ahensya at lahat ng mga stakeholders na pwede sumali para ma-ensure ng ating workers at ang kanilang pamilya is safe at maganda ang kanilang experience gagawin ng ating So at the national level, isa sa mga malaking feature dito yung ating providing support, no, to our workers whenever they are distressed. Pero hindi po natin yan gusto na ma-distress ang ating worker. But in case there are workers who are distressed, the government has committed to provide support in terms of medical, legal, or other forms of assistance to the action plan, as you can see now in the screen. No? Second, we are aware that there are natural and man-made disasters that we do not have control over. So we have the crisis response coordination together with the DFA and other agencies. We also have established a one repatriation command center kung saan ang lahat ng ahensya dyan na COA at iba pa. May isang command, no, na kung merong request for repatriation, alam na lahat ng mga ahensya kung anong gagawin at saan ito, sino ang kumontakin. We also have our reintegration program. At this point, I will look at my notes kasi ang sinabi dito with respect to the reintegration program, we have about 1,111 OFWs starting their own businesses as early as in 2020 and 2024 na. And then we also have supported 1,926 distressed female domestic workers to the Pinas Balikhanap Buhay program and helped or assisted 1,012 former OFWs aspiring to teach in public schools via sa Pinas Ikaw ang Ma'am or ang SPINS program natin in partnership with the Department of Education. At the National Reintegration Program, we also have adopted a government approach and whole society National Reintegration Program. The National Reintegration Network has already been formed. Ibig sabihin, maraming mga ahensya ang naandyan na para to make sure na pag umuwi ang ating OFWs, whatever they need, psychosocial support, medical assistance, educational or training assistance, andyan na. At kung if ever they decide to even want to land a job here, no, meron tayong dole, sinasasalo sa kanila, or ang peso in that matter dito sa iba't ibang national offices natin. We have the one-stop shop, and following the Secretary's directive, we are simplifying the process of applying for the integration programs and services. We will establish physical one-stop shops in partnership with local government units. So we envision that in the different LGUs, there will be a desk there that will cater the needs of our workers if ever they need some assistance when they finally decide to return. Umuwi na sila. And one of the major advocacies of the BMW now is to combat trafficking and illegal recruitment. Yung ating trafficking enforcement or labor trafficking and illegal recruitment. Because as you now see, no, ang daming mga Facebook na nati-take down. We have about 20,000 Facebook accounts that have been taken down in the last few years, and then we also have taken down TikTok accounts, no, because there are a lot of our mga illegal recruiters, no, who use the social media. Masyado na silang magaling ngayon. So dapat mas magaling na rin ang DMW. And now we have also taken the social media platform to take down all those illegal recruiters. We also have seen how our DMWs have been closing down training centers, language centers, which have been posing as language centers but actually recruiting, wala naman silang lisensya. Now we have the our OWA satellite offices, and you can see on the screen that we are all over the region. At andyan po, kung meron kayong reklamo, hindi naman siguro, pero kung meron kayong mga concerns ng OWA, andyan po sa screen nakikita ninyo ang mga satellite offices namin na meron ding mga naka-assign. No? But before I proceed, I would also like to explain further. Marami kasi nagsasabi na ang OWA, DMW ba? So the DMW is actually, sabi nga nila parang parent ng OWA, attached agency na ngayon, ang OWA ng DMW. It is a membership institution, and we are encouraging all our OFWs to become members of the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration because there are a lot of benefits that they can reap as members of the OWA. And lahat ng programa at hindi naman sana welfare, no? Pero may mga welfare issues, those who are members of OWA will surely get full support from OWA. So, lilinawin natin ulit ang DMW po at OWA magkasama. Yung OWA po isang attached agency natin. Hindi siya nakasali doon sa 7 merged and consolidated because primarily it's a membership institution. So, gusto rin natin sana na lahat ng ating OFWs are members ng OWA. So now we look at how the DMW functions based on our mandate, no, ng protection and promotion of the rights and welfare. Ang sabi na natin, paano ba in practice? So we have divisions, and one of and the divisions are actually taking care of a lot of our functions. So here you can see employment facilitation. Please take note na hindi po kami nag-encourage ng overseas employment as a matter of national strategy. But then, it is the mandate of the state to promote the rights of our workers, including rights to labor and labor mobility. So pag nag-decide itong ating worker na umalis, hindi naman sa pipigilan natin. Pero gusto natin na pag pumunta sila sa labas, they would have a very good experience by making sure that their migration is safe, regular, and orderly. And how do we do this? Ito po, sa employment facilitation. We encourage them to register. Ito yung paglalagay ng kanilang mga information doon sa ating e-registration. Our trust is also to digitalize our system, making sure that our workers will have an easier way of doing business with government. So in as far as our employment facilitation is concerned, ito ay under sa employment, Migrant Workers Processing Division. No? So as you can see, sa Region 11 po, papunta na tayo sa Region 11, the number of e-registration help desk tickets that we resolved in 2022 was about 17,000, which increased to 21,000 in 2023. And it has the potential to increase because our first quarter of 2024 actually has already 12,000 tickets sold. So what does it signify? No? Ito e-registration, that's making sure that at first stage they are in the system. Documented sila na nandyan sa ating sistema. Kasi alam natin na marami pa rin ang lumalabas na hindi naman natin nakikita. We are not actually directing all our OFWs to register just for the sake of registering. Kasi baka sabihin nila, ano ba itong gobyerno nakikialam? But for practical purposes, we want to know where they are. and how they are by having them registered. So in the Balik Manggagawa, which we term as our refer to also as our returning workers, BM ang sinasabi. In 2022, there were 2,416 male clients and 7,612 females. In all the numbers under Balik Manggagawa, you take note that there are more than male OFWs in the Balik Manggagawa processing, meaning there are a lot of women workers who are now employed overseas. But we also take note that in our records, most of these workers are actually doing elementary jobs or domestic workers. So isang po dapat po talaga ito sa tutukan ng ating department. So with the respect to our OFWs, most of our OFWs in Region 11 come from Davao del Sur, with 6,482 OFWs. And following would be Davao del Norte with 2,400. And Davao de Oro with 986 and Davao Oriental with 774. So ito po, we are looking at the profile of our workers where they are coming from. This is just the data that we have in the DMW Region 11. Now, as I've said, household service workers consist the top occupation with 1,084, following teachers, cleaners, nurses, at iba pa. At ang malaking bulto po nito nasa Middle East. Ito po ang profile ng aming OFWs. In the screen, you can see direct hire or name hire. What does it mean when the workers are hired out of an agency assisting them? From our records, there is the direct hire process shows multiple regional trends. Davao del Sur, which also includes Davao City, consistently led in the number of processed workers. So, in the direct hire for both region, ang trend naman natin, ang Asia ang may pinamakalaki na the largest region but shows a slight decline. So, Oceania saw significant growth in 2023. Europe's contribution has increased over time. Overall, the regional distribution highlights shifting dynamics in the process order data, with particular growth in North America and fluctuations in the Middle East. But we are talking about direct hire, meaning most of them are actually professional or skilled workers. So that explains why the number of the workers are skewed towards Europe and other Asian and not the Middle East. For work category naman, teaching sa direct hire ang mas marami. Medical professionals have a strong presence in 2022 and 2023. So makikita natin dito sa ating mga, or hindi natin makikita, but I'm telling you now that those who have been hired directly are mostly coming from the professions of teachers, nurses, and medical professionals. Seafarers are actually not under the direct hire. They are processed through the agency. So, wala talaga tayong seafarers ang lumalabas na directly hire. So, ang sinasabi natin ito sa direct hire, ito lang yung mga OFWs who are either professionals or skilled workers. The reason being is that, and we want to emphasize, that direct hire is actually prohibited in the first place, no? Under the labor code, which is as young as us, 1970s pa po, nakalagay na doon, direct hiring or name hiring is prohibited. And that only there are exceptions. And the exceptions are very clear. Kaya nakikita natin dito, teachers, nurses, kasi exception, one of the exceptions is that you can be exempted from the direct hire prohibition if you are a professional or a skilled worker. Yun lang po. And another qualification is that the terms and conditions of work must be over and above the standards that we have set. So mataas po ang bar pag sinasabi natin direct hire. So wala po tayong domestic worker, walang ibang elementary occupation. So gusto po natin i-clear yan sa ating mga workers who are deciding to go. The rule is that you can be hired only through a Philippine recruitment agency that is licensed by the DMW. As to our job fairs, which is also part of our, I will ask our team to go to our job fair category. Sige. Okay, so while we are still working on our slides, one of the jobs of the DFW also is to make sure that when our workers want to find a job, there are jobs that are with job orders. And these job orders are often seen and should be seen through job fairs that are either sponsored by the local government unit or in some cases the DMW. Ano po ba itong job fair? Nakikita nito, merong NCCC, sa iba't ibang regions ng Davao, where the government, the LGUs, through PESO and the DMW come together and laying out there the possible jobs that are available. Ano pa ba kung itong mga jobs ba ito offered by legitimate recruitment agency. So hindi po pwedeng maglalako yung ating Philippine Recruitment Agency sa gilid, sa dalan, o mag-distribute. So they have to be in the different offices, in their offices, or in job fairs. Okay. So, now, of course, we want to make sure that our workers will have safe migration to the following services that we offer. Legal assistance, we have the repatriation assistance, conciliation. Yung legal assistance po, anything, practically anything under the sun. Kasi nasabi nila, basta contact related. No, pero hindi po ibig sabihin na kung hindi contact related, hindi natin na-assist. No? A lot of our workers actually, or their kids go to us because of domestic violence. So pagpupunta po dyan, we also assist. No? And then we refer based on our referral system that we have already defined. Now, part of our facilitation is also repatriation assistance. Pero ayaw po natin itong mangyayari. No? Itong repatriation is when there are problems arising doon sa host country. Pag nangyari po yan, nag-refer sa opisina. And then we do the repatriation, request for repatriation. As I have already presented a while ago, we have the ORCC. So if there are complaints, it goes through there, and then it also is, it trickles down to all the regional offices at binibigyan natin ng repatriation assistance. But of course, the repatriation assistance, if there are agencies, ito po ang maganda dito. Pag may repatriation assistance at may agency, at agency po ang sasalo nito, hindi po ang gobyerno. That's why we, as a general rule, prefer the agency mode of recruitment. No? Kasi one of the functions and one of the requirements of the Philippine Recruitment Agency is to make sure that they answer the repatriation to insurance and other things. So, itong nandiyan sa slide, ayun kung natin mangyari ang next slide na naman yung conciliation and mediation complaints. Ibig sabihin may problema ang ating worker. But in our case, we do the SENA, meaning we conciliate and mediate complaints that are contract related. Pero hindi po this does not include complaints for legal recruitment. Ito lang yung mga kaso na hindi binayaran at hindi nirelease ang kanyang passport, etc. So, we also verify job orders as we have mentioned. And we are big on pre-employment orientation seminar. Ibig sabihin, gusto natin na even before they decide, our students, our people in the communities, even before they decide to go into migration, we conduct the pre-orientation, employment orientation seminar, which includes also our campaign against illegal recruitment and trafficking, against illegal recruitment and trafficking in persons. Now, based on our data, ito po yung ating na-assist na, no? From January 22, 2024, we have assisted 2,995 migrants for legal and welfare services. Yun na yung minention kanina. 923 requests for repatriation. We have already assisted 861 on SENA, and there is a 100% disposal from our office. So we also conducted 26 pre-employment orientation seminars and have air tape seminars to the communities number 84. So in inspection between 2022 and 2024, defense and agency inspections reveal a significant increase in the volume of requests and inspections conducted. In 2022-24, were inspected, and in 2023, there were 68. And now, on the first quarter, we already have inspected 42. For our reintegration program, we have here established a comprehensive set of reintegration services for returning OFWs. The reintegration program is to ensure that Filipinos working abroad return with renewed hopes and opportunities through collaborative efforts involving government, non-government organizations, including the private sector. So it's a whole operation approach pa rin. So these programs include Balik Pinas, Balik Hanap Buhay program. It's a package of livelihood support intended to provide immediate relief to returning member OFWs who are either displaced or distressed. So this will serve as a start-up capital for livelihood project. We also have livelihood support for families this time for deceased OFWs. It is designed for survivors of deceased OFWs who are active OWA members. So I mentioned a while ago, pag OWA member po kayo, mas marami ang beneficiary. So OWA members at the time of death and families of OFWs who are incarcerated, convicted, and meted out the death penalty in foreign countries. It is intended to provide, aside from the additional assistance, a livelihood activity of surviving members. The livelihood assistance start at the amounting to 15,000. In 2023, we have introduced our services and programs the department to the different stakeholders, duty bearers. So we had a meet and greet. Next slide. So we had a meet and greet with the BMW with all the stakeholders. So our aim is to discuss the programs and services of the BMW kasi nga BMW ang tawag nila sa amin. So also second, we identify the gaps and issues and concerns of the OFW. Because whether we like it or not, most of the agencies or even the civil society have different data, issues and concerns about our OFWs and families. And we want to capture them in the different forum that we have established and we have founded. So number 3 also, we determine areas, possible areas of collaboration. And one important thing is that we want to develop and streamline referral processes. Kasi ang isang reklamo ng OFW namin, saan na kami pupunta, kung pinapasa-pasa kami, wala na kami pamasahe. So, pupunta sa DSWD, OWA, etc. So, we want to streamline this. We want to make sure that when the worker goes to us, they will know exactly where to go next or if they are going to other agencies in the first place. So, the first meet and greet was the Philippine Recruitment Agencies last July. 72 agencies were present. The second meet and greet was with the national government agencies. Mind you, kailangan natin i-meet ang ating national government agencies kasi gusto rin natin silang tumulong sa pag-capitalize ng DFW. Kasi nga, di ba, if the OFWs go to the different offices, at ang kanila lahat, gobyerno mata. So, at kung po PSA, mamunta na ko about OFW programs, pero hindi man siya dito dapat. No? So, we want our partner agencies to also give information about DFW. So we also had a meet and greet with the law enforcement agencies. So we have NBI, BNP, etc. Because we want them to cooperate with us and we want to collaborate with them in our campaign for inter-recruitment. Considering that Public Employment Service Office or our PESOs also play a vital factor in the selection and hiring of our OFWs. So makita ninyo, minsan meron silang pinupost na mga job fairs, sila po yan, no? So we also had a meet and greet with PESO managers, about 36 PESO managers from the different areas of the region were present. In 2024 this year, we again met with the Philippine Recruitment Agency, pangalawang beses. Why? Because we want also, we want them to participate in our recruitment and we want them to also contribute to our national integration program. At ang mahalaga din na nakita namin during our engagement with our OFWs, especially our domestic workers, the need for further training on computer literacy, etc. So we also encourage our PRAs to assist us in that aspect by empowering our workers. So, moving ahead, ayan, patay na marathon sir, no? But moving ahead, we want to continue all our programs, but we are using the DMW as our acronym for in called plans and programs of the DMW in the next few months. So the first one is we still want to develop and design policies and plans for the protection and promotion of the rights and welfare of OFWs and their families in Asia and Lebanon, specifically on improving the digital literacy of our OFW and their families. Considering that our mission, isa sa mga gusto natin is talagang i-digitalize ang lahat ng processes ng ating ng labor migration para mas madali para sa ating OFW. Paano kung na-digitalize tayo pero ang ating worker hindi naman empowered at hindi naman alam kung paano ito. So the second, one of the programs that we also want to develop is make sure that our access to services, the service and information for OFW are more accessible. Are we saying that it is not accessible right now? It is, but we want to still hear from them. What could we improve on and what policy and programs can we decide to promote access. So, then, ayan, manage data on labor migration. Hindi po yan date, baka sabihin nila mag-dating app kami, pasensya po. But managing data on labor migration based on GCM is the Global Compact for Migration. Our commitment, the Philippine government's commitment, is to design policies, programs, and laws that are actually evidence-based. So we have a lot of data in our hands, DMW, and the rest of the agencies which concern with office employment and our OFW families. And we want to manage them not for the purpose of pakialam, no, paring lang ang gusto lang tayo marites sa atong mga data, but we want to make sure that our programs are reflected on the data that are available. So we want our print programs and policies to be evidence-based. And the last one, which proved to be very effective, and we want to continue with it, we want to work continually with stakeholders and duty bearers, especially with the LGUs, towards ensuring that our OFW will have safe, orderly, and regular migration. Ito po talaga ang gusto natin. While we do not want them to go out of the country, but if they go out, we want them to be safe. We want their migration to be regular. We want their process to be orderly. And this can be done with the following, mga pre-migration orientation seminars, and the implementation of the full integration cycle. The full integration cycle, I want to stress that at this stage, under the DMW, we want to make sure that our workers, as I mentioned, before sila mag-desisyon, hindi lang sila mag-desisyon, sir, pati ang pamilya nila are part of the decision-making process if they really want one of their family members to leave. Second, before they leave, there are already programs available for them. Mag-Eagles na tayo, pre-departure orientation seminar. When they are on site, what they do with their money, if ever they have enough savings, invest them, and then caution them against investment scams and the rest. These are the things that our National Reintegration Cycle program will be busy on or busy with, and then pag-uwi na talaga. So because in the full integration cycle, we have outlined, there are a lot of dimensions, no, in the reintegration. When people return, may iba, finish contract, okay yan, gusto na mag-invest. Pero may iba, na umuwi kasi naabuso. So you don't just give the money. No? As I mentioned before, gusto natin ng may social intervention, what can we give them with? And then what if they want to improve on their skills? So ito po yung national, full cycle national integration program.
So mo to mga katambayan, no, ang kuan ni Attorney Librado, taas po to, no. I hope namoy nakuha po dito, no, nga mga kuan namoy nakuha sa iyang ginapanulti, no, and of course sa ilahang mga kuan, no. So Davao del Sur ang pinakadaghan diri nga nag-apply og OFW, of course under man sa Davao del Sur ang Davao City, although sa papel ha, pero although kuan man mga igala, no, tawagan ni highly urbanized city man ang Davao City, pero nabilong yapon siya sa Davao del Sur, no. So ko na po si Sir Joel Ramirez ani. Anyway, mga katambayan, na sa itong pagbalik, no, ato ang balikan to yung gingon na monitoring sa mga mubo lang to mga katambayan no, monitoring sa mga recruitment agencies nga nagapadala abroad no. So ilang ginapadala abroad actually kay na niya ganiha to. So atong balikan no, and especially naman pug yung mga influencer nga nagapang-recruit no sa mga social media like TikTok ug uban pa. Anyways mga katambayan, balik ito man lang sa importante pahinumdum ning atong si Biana. Yes, mga higala, balik kita din sa itong panaguban, sa itong tulumanong tambayan sa Radyo Pilipinas. Anyways, mga higala, inaisibutan niya po na ito karon. Huwag tambayan na ito karon mga higala, no? Ang kining ko, ano, DMW o ilahang functions, mga higala. O kung saan nila naabot, no? After sila nag-take effect niya itong 2022, no? So, pila ka years na nahitabo, mga higala, no? Unsa na kaya karon no? Mo na to gigaganiha, giingon na ni Attorney Angging Lebrado ang maong kuno ilang achievement no. But anyways, dili ta sa kuno recruitment kay daghan kay po mga mailad mga higala no nga i-turn kuan mga higala na eventually mahimo na ni silang mga scam no tungod ani mga pasalig-pasalig dito nga mao na pagabot dito di mao ang ilang sweldo. So mo na karon mga higala gina-monitor karon sa og gina-surveillance sa ato ang DMW, kaning mga recruitment agencies, uban pa nga mga individual nga nagapang-recruit no, nga naday trabaho abroad. Anyways, mga higala, balikan nato mga higala no, ang Regional Director sa DMW 11 mga higala nga si Attorney Angging Lebrado Trinidad. Paminaw na to.
Ang dapat lang yung mag-recruit, katulay lisensya. So, tanan na walay lisensya, dili pwede mag-recruit. Second, isa ba ang act of recruitment? Ang usual natin is we are hiring, but that is not the sole definition of recruitment. When you refer, dahil sa Facebook na i-post, inong i-share, inong i-refer, inong i-text. So that is an act of referral, that could also be an act of recruitment. Based on national data, in 2020, there are about 20,000 Facebook accounts that have been taken down, and about 7,000 or more TikTok accounts have already been taken down. In 2022, about 2,000 cases of illegal recruitment have been filed nationally. So, ganito update at the local level, nanagay na file, but for purposes of protecting the data, our complainants, if there are questions, we can also give them data confidentially. Although it's public record, you can go to the CCO. There are also cases being filed initiated by the ICID, which is illegal recruitment. And we are also monitoring language centers and training institutes here. And we are working hand in hand with barangay officials.
So mo to mga katambayan no, ang ato ang kuno ato ang pagtambay diha sa to ang GMW. I hope no na naamoy naamoy nakuha nga impormasyon no with regards sa maong ahensya nga mo ay nagapangalaga no nga motutok departamento dili siya ahensya, departamento mismo no sa office under sa to executive branch sa tong gobyerno no nga ginatutukan na gyud no ang unsa ni ang welfare sa ato ang mga sa ato ang mga bagong bayani nga overseas Filipino workers. Anyways, may gala wala kita oras hangtod sunod po no di sa to panaguban sa atong tulumanong tambayan sa Radyo Pilipinas. Sa ngalan sa tibok pwersa sa DXRP Radyo Pilipinas sa ako inyong kauban Armando Feniquito. Daghang salamat ug mayong adlaw kanatong tanan.